Well, coming up on today's show, we made a trip up to the Cleveland area. And boy, we found some great things up there. We stopped by the distillery of Cleveland Whiskey, found out about what they're doing and what new products are coming out. You don't want to miss any of that. And we stopped by Boss ProKarting out by the airport to find out about what racing is really like up this way. And boy, I'll tell you, we found a lot of good stuff. Renee?
Well, thanks, Mike. We always enjoy coming up to Cleveland. And we found a couple really cool places up here. One of them is checking out some local breweries. I'm Renee Joseph, and along with Mike Kilburn, we are today out and about Cleveland. Well, if you're looking for a unique gift for, say, that graduate or somebody that just loves baseball, a personalized bat from Johnnyville Woods is an heirloom you'll treasure forever. Well, tell our viewers what you do here.
As easily as I can put it, we make heirlooms. We take your handwritten message and engrave it on the back of the bat. Now, the front of the bat will always have a fellas, usually 90% of it's going to guys, but guy's name on it, and it could be his high school, his college. A lot of corporate gifts where we'll have the corporate logo and his college on there. They're just fantastic. And we actually built the company under one simple premise, that my $300 Johnnyville was better than a $400 dinner. And it's proven to be true.
Wow, what a unique idea. Tell us exactly how you go about creating these bats.
Well, we turn our own bats, which means it goes into our own lathe, and we spin down, and we use it's called a Nike 271, and it's pretty much a standard Major League Baseball bat to the spec of what standard is. Now, all the guys shim this down and shave this down, but we take a base bat like that and we can color it, and we use oak, maple, and ash, so you can pick from those.
If we can't get here to Cleveland to get one of your bats, how do we get one?
Oh, just get online. It's a pretty easy process, and I'll tell you what, I'm pretty old school. I still like to talk to guys about, talk to them on the phone. You can send me an email, we get a little bit of discussion going. After there's a pattern with some guys, they understand what I need from them. But most of it is just whether shoot me an email or get on the phone. And I really do like to talk to the folks, because there's a little things I can pick up and pull out and help me design something unique that they really want. But at the end of the day, what you write, Renee, on the back of that bat is what I do. It turns it into an instant heirloom, and it's literally the best thing. I couldn't imagine a better gift given to a graduate or my grandson or whomever. It's fabulous. All American.
Wonderful. Tell me how to find out more information so that we can get our hands on one of these.
You Google Johnnyville, just Johnnyville, and it'll click over into Johnnyville Woods, so that's not a problem there either. And again, my phone number's out there, so guys call me, because I still think that's, hey, you're spending the money that you're spending, you're going to get something special from me. And what's fabulous now, I've been at this like 13 years now, and I don't think we have one PO'd customer. Everybody comes back because they see what the effort that's put into it to make it, so that I always tell everybody I expect to be paid and I expect to be hugged. And I go, that's as simple. I know with COVID now it might be a knuckle bump, but at the end of the day, it'll come back. So.
Aw, well, thank you so much for sharing this wonderful art that you do with us. We really appreciate you letting us come visit you today.
Awesome. Thanks, Renee. Thanks for having me.
Well, several years ago, we came and visited Cleveland Whiskey after a Forbes article was written about this company. It is an amazing company. It's one of those things that stuck with us as we traveled throughout the state. We'd go see Cleveland Whiskey. We'd always talk about how we actually visited the distillery. And we're back here again. Tom is joining us again, and he is the man to put all this together. Tom, welcome back to Out and About Columbus. Good to have you on the show.
Mike, it's good to see you again.
Well, tell us what makes Cleveland whiskey unique. I can think of a lot of things, but I'm going to let you tell the story.
So we're actually more of a technology company, not really a craft distiller or a micro distiller. We have a process that allows us to use different woods, so a lot of our finishes are done with woods like black cherry, hickory, sugar maple, apple. So we can provide some really unique and interesting flavors without sugar or syrup or anything artificial, and that's done really well for us.
So Tom, what's unique about your production process?
Well, so it's interesting. Every traditional distiller, they put a product, they finish it, it takes it off of a still. It goes into a new American oak charred barrel. That's for bourbon, that's part of the regulations. And it sits in that barrel for 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 years, getting the flavors as the heat changes and the pressure changes, and you get unique flavors out of that oak. The problem is we can only use oak barrels because if you made a barrel out of black cherry wood or apple, for instance, it would leak like a sieve. With our technology, we can use these other woods, create some really amazing flavors that you can't get through barrels, and that's really what makes us special.
Yeah, and you have created a lot of new flavors since the last time I was here, I believe. Talk a little bit about those.
So we now have both bourbons and rye, as well as now a wheated bourbon that we finish with woods like black cherry and hickory and sugar maple and apple. We experiment with a whole lot of others. The beauty also is we do a tremendous amount of experimentation. So we can release new products, take them into the market, see what people say, and then tweak them. We're always making something better. I mean, the original Cleveland Whiskey Black Reserve that we released in 2013, we made that better the following year, and then the following year. Every 6 months it gets a little bit better. And, we're not trying to create some, mythical recipe from a great-great-great-great-grandfather who was a moonshiner. We're just using this technology to make better spirits and interesting spirits.
Well, Tom, give us some contact information where you kind of follow what you're doing and where you're going and all the news about Cleveland whiskey.
Well, we've got the website, clevelandwhiskey.com, but I'd invite anybody to write directly to me, tom@clevelandwhiskey.com. I love suggestions. I like comments. I encourage people to tell me, what do you like, what don't you like, so we can make it better. So tom@clevelandwhiskey.com.
Fantastic, man. A great product coming out of Ohio. Tom, thanks so much for being on the show.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Well, there's nothing like go-karting, and I got to tell you, we found a place in the Cleveland area. It's just amazing. I don't think you'll believe the experience that you'll have here at Boss ProKarting, and Lee Boss is joining us today. Talk a little bit about this. Lee, welcome to the show. Good to have you on.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming out. We're excited to have you.
So in the name, ProKarting, tell us why you guys say that.
Well, everyone's familiar with go-karting. Everyone's been to a putt-putt golf place with go-karts. We went with ProKarting because we are a family of racers. My first cousin and I started this place in 2016, and instead of being a version of a putt-putt golf place with slightly faster go-karts, we wanted to have as close to the real thing, a real race experience here. And we went with that's why we go with the name ProKarting. The karts are really fast, all electric. You're going 35, 40 mile an hour. That it really elevates the experience up. And we take the racing side very seriously while having a lot of fun.
Yeah. Now, what ages can come in and enjoy this?
Anywhere from 8 years old and up. So we have a lot of families come in and race. We have junior karts that are a little lighter, a little more nimble, but almost just as fast for all of our junior drivers. And then from about 14 on up, in our full adult karts, which are very adjustable, the seat, pedals, steering wheel, everything moves, to be able to get someone of about any age and size comfortable and safe enough.
Nice. Walk me through, as a new racer, if I walk in the door, what's the first thing I have to do?
So the first thing we do is get you registered at kiosks up front, or you can register online. But we have you create a driver profile, because every lap that you're out here on the track, we're keeping track of that lap time down to the thousandth of a second. Wow. So we have you make that profile to tie that timing and scoring system to, and that's running live on the TV screens all throughout the facility the whole time. We're all about having fun, and we're having a blast here, but shoot, if you don't have a little competition or aren't getting a little serious about it, what fun is it?
So what are you doing about COVID-19? Everyone's concerned about that in today's world, and I saw some great things that you're doing here.
Absolutely. Well, we started with, like everybody, we started with the CDC guidelines and made sure we were meeting everything there. Put up some additional shields, distancing, we're keeping our tables separated, all of the things that people are very used to seeing. We have some added challenges and benefits in the gear. Full sanitization for every user on every helmet. With our actual activity, you, by nature, have PPE on, and you're separated from people at a certain distance. So we've tried to find creative ways to go above and beyond. We use the sanitization foggers to go down through and sanitize the carts each round, any gear that people wear. Every time any of that stuff changes hands or changes people, it's all completely sanitized by the staff. So.
Oh, fantastic. It's a great experience here. I know you guys do corporate outings. You got some great corporate event facilities or parties. It's a great place to come and enjoy. I appreciate you showing us this today. It's really fantastic. Give us some contact information where we can learn more, get signed up, and come up to Cleveland and try this out.
Yeah, absolutely. So we accept walk-ins and people coming through the door anytime, but our website is bossprokarting.com, karting with a K. You can find all the information there. We've also recently opened up axe throwing, so we can do axe throwing, as you said, large or small corporate events, birthday parties. We have a lot of really higher end professional space to be able to do those kinds of events right. That information is all on our website as well. And if you're coming up from Columbus and you want to make sure you've got your race slot or your axe throwing time locked in, you can go to bossprokarting.com and we have a full online booking suite there to walk you through getting that time in and get you guys up here to race with us.
Sounds
We'd
good,
love
man.
to have you up.
You got to be boss. You're the boss. Thanks so much, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Well, the Hyatt Regency at the Arcade in downtown Cleveland is absolutely breathtaking. I've been here a few years ago. It's one of those places that I've never forgotten. And to talk about it today is Nick. Nick, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thank you so much for coming out and taking a look here at the property.
Well, tell us a little bit about that transformation from the Arcade to Hyatt Regency.
Definitely. So the arcade itself was actually opened in 1890, built as a shopping center here in the center of Cleveland, to bring some of that liveliness back into the city itself. Operated actually as shops and different offices throughout the building throughout the next century. We came in and actually over the course of about 2 years did a restoration and renovation to open up as the Hyatt Regency Cleveland at the Arcade in 2001.
I always talk about this place, how beautiful it is. It's really amazing, and the history that goes with it. Why is this a perfect place for people to stay that are visiting Cleveland?
You know, with our location, we are directly in the center of downtown. You know, out our Superior entrance, we have everything that you would need from the Rock Hall, a staple here in Cleveland. You can't not stop there, but Rock Hall, as well as First Energy Stadium, the Warehouse District, all the way to the waterfront, all walkable. You go out the other side of our building, it's the Euclid entrance. East 4th Street is right there. You can get down to both the stadiums down there as well. Playhouse Square, everything is just very walkable from our building. Just makes it a very unique location, still a main thoroughfare into town as you're crossing through between Superior and Euclid as well.
Well, one of the things that people are concerned about, of course, is COVID-19 and their safety and security and coming to another town. Talk a little bit about what you guys are doing.
So, you know, we definitely understand the concerns when it comes to that with everything that is happening. And, you know, guided 100% by Hyatt's purpose, which is to care for people so they can be their best. We are working strenuously to enhance our already rigorous protocols to really enhance the safetiness and well-being of not only our guests, but our colleagues.
Give us some contact information, how we can get a reservation and come and enjoy this.
Definitely. You can get a reservation very easily, www.hyatt.com.
And well, I'll tell you, wouldn't be sorry if you do it. Nick, thanks again for being on the show.
Thank you so much.
Well, last year we went up to the Cleveland Metro Parks Asian Lantern Festival, and I got to tell you something. If you really enjoy a great evening or a great day of going up and looking at the lanterns, this is absolutely something well worth doing. And Kelly is joining me to talk about it this year. Kelly, welcome down to About Columbus. Good to have you on the show.
Thanks for having us again. We're so excited to be able to bring this festival back to Cleveland.
Tell our viewers what's so unique about the Asian Lantern Festival.
So this is the third summer for the Asian Lantern Festival presented by Cleveland Clinic Children's. And this year it's back and it's bigger and better than ever. So it's going to look a lot different. For one, all the lantern displays, and by the way, there's 70 of them, just like the one behind me here on Waterfall Lake. And this is a 200 long foot pheasant on the lake that lights up after dark and illuminates. You might also see a dinosaur next to it. So included in this year's ticket price, you also get admission to dinosaurs around the world. So we have over 24 gigantic animatronic dinos located around the lake. And again, this is a festival for everyone. Not only are there these beautiful lanterns, there's Asian cuisine, and there's live performances on the Fifth Bank stage every night. There's 4 performances, 20 minutes each, acrobats, jugglers, dancing. It's really a festival that's unique, unlike anything in Northeast Ohio, and it can't be missed.
What are you guys doing with the COVID-19 thing? I know you're limited capacity as one, but how do you reserve time to come in and actually see this?
So safety of our guests, our employees, and animals is a priority. And just like you said, we're taking a lot of safety precautions. Not only are we limiting the capacity, so we're having less than 50% of the number of guests as we did last year. We've added an evening, so it's Wednesday through Sunday, to give folks more of a chance to come out and see us. We will have all traffic flow going one direction throughout the event. We have the loop programmed all around the lower portion of the zoo, so it's very walkable. A lot of hand washing stations throughout the footprint. We also are sanitizing and cleaning high-touch areas frequently throughout the evening.
Give us some contact information, Kelly, and we'll share with our viewers and send you some folks from Columbus up there.
All right. Yeah, just log on to clevelandmetroparks.com and you'll be able to plan your entire visit.
Cleveland, Ohio has some wonderful breweries, and City Brew Tours is the ride you need to check them out. Tell us a little bit about what are some of the Cleveland breweries we'll visit on a tour.
So one of our favorite breweries is Market Garden, where we're outside of right now. We also visit Great Lakes right here in Ohio City. We work with Terrestrial, Brick and Barrel, and a number of other breweries around town.
Wonderful. Now, I'm sure with COVID, it's affected your tours. How has it affected it, and what were your reopening decisions that you guys made? Based on what?
So it's affected us greatly, certainly. We have moved to some online beer events at home where we're teaching people to home brew in their very own kitchen, or we're leading them through a beer and cheese pairing happy hour. But we are getting to the point where we can start to consider reopening in some cities, and Cleveland is definitely one of those. And there's a number of reasons, a number of factors that we look at when we're reopening. Downward trend of cases over 14 days. Of course, we need the state to allow on-site consumption inside of the breweries, because what's a brew tour without some beers? And then also we're monitoring testing data. So we're looking for the percentage of positive cases to be below 15% in total. So we're monitoring both this local guidelines, CDC guidelines, and making decisions based on our standards as well.
Wonderful. Now, when you do reopen, what will a tour look like?
So we're going to have a reduced guest capacity. We're also going to be supplying City Brew Tours branded sanitizers for everybody to take with them. We'll be requiring masks while we're riding inside of the van and when we're moving throughout the brewery. And we'll be providing those masks for guests that either forget to bring them or just don't have them available to them. We'll also be using some single-use pencils and single-use cups to cut down on that transfer of items in between guests.
Well, it sounds like you guys have thought of everything. How do we find out more information so when the time is right, we can take a tour with you?
You can check us out at citybrewtours.com.
Fantastic. Brian, it was a pleasure to meet you, and thanks for sharing great information.
Nice to meet you as well, Renee.
Ingenuity Cleveland hosts a lot of parties and events and things that you may want to attend and find very interesting. Alyssa's joined us today to talk about some of those. Alyssa, welcome to the show. Glad to have you on today.
Absolutely. So Ingenuity, we are ignite the creative spark among artists, entrepreneurs, and innovators through joy and collaboration in service to social progress. And a big part of what we do are programs and events that anyone and everyone is welcome to join. So in particular, we have a festival that's been around for about 15 years called Ingenuity Fest. And we welcome over 15,000 visitors, typically the last weekend in September. And we love to have people from Columbus and beyond come check it out.
So what can someone expect to learn from an Ingenuity Fest?
Absolutely. So the festival, it brings together over 15,000 attendees and artists, makers, musicians, vendors, food and adult beverages. And it basically immerses people into a very unique and honestly, it's an exhilarating experience full of creativity and innovation. So at the festival, you'll find maker activities, exhibits from small businesses and entrepreneurs. You'll see site-specific art installations from local artists, maybe even some from Columbus and beyond. We have 6 stages of music and entertainment. We've got dozens of bands, dance acts, and performances across these stages. We have food trucks and adult beverages, and we have projects from our Ingenuity Labs incubator members. And our other partners that exist in the Hamilton Collaborative building where Ingenuity is housed.
So what kind of reaction does people have that attend one of these?
Well, my favorite part about these events is to just sit back and listen to everyday attendees exploring. And there's nothing like this festival in Cleveland. It's like walking into a new world, really. You never know what you're going to find. We basically take over a previously abandoned warehouse or abandoned spaces across Cleveland over the last 15 years and transform them into a new experience so people can see Cleveland and formerly abandoned sites as new and exciting and a great place to explore.
Well, listen, we're going to leave it there. Give us some contact information where folks here in the Columbus area can learn more.
You can always check out our website at ingenuitycleveland.org. You can call us at 216-589-9444 or email us at info@ingenuitycleveland.org. Please come see us. We'd love to meet you.
Fantastic. We'll do that. Thanks so much for being on the show today. Appreciate it. Great information. Thank you. On your way to Cleveland, you may want to check out some of these places.
Well, if you're looking to enjoy the great outdoors this summer, Pleasant Hill Lake Park has everything you could want, from primitive camping to luxury cabins. You can find it all here. It's beautiful out here, I've got to say. There seems to be so much to do. Let's talk about the park. What makes you guys unique?
Well, one of the things that's unique about, particularly about this particular park, is we're one of the only parks in MWCD that allow horse camping. So we allow our visitors to bring their horses and camp with their horses. And we have about 88 miles of bridle trails, which is connected to Mohican State Park and Malabar Farm State Park. We're right in the middle of those two state parks. And because we have the horse camp, we have a lot of people that come out here with their horses and enjoy the trail rides out here with the different trails.
Well, let's talk about some of the things that you've done to improve the park.
Over the last couple of years, we have done a master plan. We have worked on all of our campgrounds. All of our campgrounds now have a 50 amp service with full hookup water, paved pads, brought it up to basically standards that people want to see as well. Another thing we've done is that we've also added some log cabins. We have 10 of them. They have a full deck with a hot tub on it. They come fully equipped with a full kitchen. Some of them have sofa beds in them. There's loft in them. They're all made from wood furniture, from locally made from here. There's also a campfire ring and a picnic table outside. For everybody that wanted to come out and really not rough it, we have all the modern conveniences. So whether you want to go primitive camping with just a tent, or you want to come to our campground with full hookup with your camper, or you don't want to do any of that, you want to come and spend a week or a weekend, you can come to the log cabins. And the best experience to get is to go to our website on mwcd.org, and we have pictures of our log cabins, the cost, and what comes with the log cabins as well.
Let's talk about activities. What is there to do when you come out here?
Well, a lot of the people come out here to go fishing. We also have a full-service marina, so you can rent your boats, whether it be a pontoon boat, or you can rent a kayak. We have kayaking programs that we offer for kids during the summer months as well. We have modified nature programs this year, which could be nature hikes. We do birding tours. We do learn to kayak, different types of activities like that.
How do we find out more information?
Well, you can go to our website, which is mwcd.org, and click on the Pleasant Hill Lake, and have all the information about all our activities, how to make reservations for our camping area, and how to make reservations for our cabins as well.
Wonderful. Louis, thank you again. This is really a great place.
Thank you for coming out.
Well, if you love a good glass of wine, you've got to check out Way Vineyards in Worcester, Ohio. It's time for you to find your wine time. Well, Jim, welcome to Out and About Columbus, and thanks for having us out to Way Vineyards.
Thanks for having us too.
Well, I got to tell you, visiting a vineyard is one of my favorite things to do. I love wine. Tell us who's behind Way Vineyards.
Well, Way Vineyards started as a venture with my wife and I. I grew up farming. She grew up in the wine industry as far as our early careers. She wanted to get back into the wine industry when we moved here to Worcester from Columbus, and I wanted to get back into farming. And one thing led to another. We planted some vines for another winery, and several years down the road, we transitioned to the winery ourselves.
Wow, that's a really neat story. What is the significance from the clocks? I've noticed the clocks on all the bottles. That's really cool.
So the significance of the clocks is my wife and I still work full-time away from the winery. So we always have to find our wine time, to come make wine, to come sell wine, so on and so forth, and even occasionally to drink some wine. So that became the running joke, is that we needed to find wine time. And then it transitioned to, we're on the Lincoln Highway, so we pay homage to the L that's predominant in the Lincoln Highway signage.
and we just incorporated that in to be the hands on the clock. So our 155 series, those are our dry wines. Our 404 series are our off dries, or semi-sweet, whichever way you want to call it. And then 616 became our sweet wine. Sweet 16, everybody knows that one.
I love it. That's so cool. Well, tell us what we're going to experience when we come here to visit the winery.
We want this to be a serious experience for those that want a serious wine drinking experience, but we don't want to intimidate people that are new to wine or are just learning about wine. So we try and keep it light for those that need it that way, but everybody behind the counter here can talk wine seriously too if need be. So.
Wow. Well, this is really a neat place. I'm so glad we were able to stop by today. How do we find out more information about Lincoln Way Vineyards?
Sure. You can go to our website at www.lincolnwayvineyards.com, or you can just use the old-fashioned phone and call the winery at 330-804-WINE.
Back in Columbus, check out our local business spotlight. Well, if you're sick of being cooped up in the house and you want to get out for some new experiences, Breakout Columbus has an adventure waiting for you. Well, Michaela, welcome to Out and About Columbus, and thanks for having us out to Breakout Columbus.
Thanks for coming.
Well, tell us why Breakout Columbus is such a great activity to do during this quarantine.
So Breakout Columbus is a perfect quarantine adventure. It's fun, safe, clean, private. So all of our rooms are private experiences right now. So it's only you and the people that you bring to play with you that will be in the room with you. Our game masters are in a separate room doing all of their wonderful clue giving. We've extended our breaks between games, so we have about an hour to really clean thoroughly, so you can feel confident about coming to Breakout. Our front door is locked, so that only one group is in the lobby, and yeah, so we have a lot of new procedures that we're putting in place.
Well, I have to say, it smells super clean in here, and it's perfect. Tell people, what is an escape room if they've never done it before?
So an escape room is a room full of puzzles and riddles and clues that you try to solve in order to get to an ultimate goal. All of our rooms have a different ultimate goal that you're trying to get to. So some of them are an object that you're trying to find. Some of them you're trying to find an exit code. And then our newest room, you're trying to disarm a bomb. So it's very exciting.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how many experiences can you do here?
We have about 5 different rooms that are open right now. We have Undercover Alley, Runaway Train, Kidnapping, Mystery Mansion, and Museum Heist. So they're all really cool.
So do you have any offers for our viewers?
Yeah, we do. We have a special offer for Out and About Columbus. So if you want to put in adventure for a 10% off a game, we have that going right now. So.
Oh, it all sounds like so much fun. How do we find out more information so we can get a reservation or just come out and do this?
Yeah, so you can either give us a call or book a room online at breakoutcolumbus.com. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, if you want to just give us a call at the Columbus location, it's really easy to find. And one of our lovely game masters or our lovely managers will give you some help on that.
It sounds perfect. Great thing to do. Everyone's going stir crazy right now anyway.
For sure.
So thank you again for sharing your wonderful place with us.
Thank you.